This video is going to be about electrochemical rust removal from a few tools, a screwdriver bit, a bit holder, and a drill bit that have become very, very rusty because of high humidity where they were stored. To perform electrochemical rust removal, we need a power supply, of course, which we can see in the background here. I'm using my anodizing power supply. A 12-volt battery charger will work perfectly to do this as well. I also have some sodium carbonate. This is available either as a pool and spa chemical, or you can get sodium carbonate at the grocery store. It's sold as washing soda and will probably be found near the dish and laundry detergent and so on and so forth in your local supermarket. I have a 500 milliliter beaker filled with water. That's all I need because the 3 sample tool bits that I'm going to clean aren't very big. I should note that this process can be scaled up and performed, say, in a 5-gallon bucket if your rusty steel pieces are larger. Anyway, let's get things hooked up so I can show how everything gets connected, and then we'll start derusting the first piece. I have about half a liter of water in my beaker. To that I'm going to add about a teaspoonful of sodium carbonate, and I'll stir it in. I'll pick up the video again when I have the sodium carbonate dissolved in the water. Here I have the sodium carbonate stirred in, and I've taken the red or positive from my power supply, and I've hooked it up to a steel positive electrode. Here's a closer view of the 3 extremely rusty steel tool bits that I want to clean. Here I've got the first tool bit to clean, hooked up by a steel wire, and it connects to the black or negative output of the power supply, and is then lowered into the bath. As we can see, as soon as we lower the part into the sodium carbonate solution, bubbling is starting to happen. Here we can see from in the background that the part is drawing 1 amp of current, and there's significant fizzing in the beaker as things begin to clean. I'm going to let this go for about 10 minutes, and then I'll pick up the video, pull the piece out of the bath, and we'll see what effect has been had on this extremely rusty part. 10 minutes has gone by, so let's pull this part out. We can see that some dirt and rust has been removed and is now either floating on top in the beaker, or the heavier material has sunk to the bottom. Let's take a better look here. There, that's a little better, and there's still bubbles coming up from the piece being cleaned. Well, let's haul it out and give it a rub with the wet rag and see if we've made any headway here. Now it seems to have removed about half the corrosion. I'm going to take a little scraper and try and help things a bit, and then we'll be putting this back in for a few more minutes. None of this corrosion would scrape free easily before. Now, having just gently scraped it, I'm nearly clean, but there's still some more corrosion on it, so let's hook it back up to the negative lead, put it back in, and we'll give it another 10 minutes or so. I should point out that more than one part could be hooked up and cleaned at the same time. I could be doing all three of them at the same time if I wanted to. Anyway, let's let this go another 5-10 minutes and then it should be done. Here's a better shot of the part fizzing away in the cleaning bath. Another 10 minutes has gone by, so let's haul this out and see if we're finished here. I'll take some Scotch-Brite and rub the bit with Scotch-Brite. Well, let's set it down and zoom in on it here if we can. Now we can sort of see it a little better now, and all of the rust has been gotten off. The steel is pitted, of course, from the bad rusting, but we have cleaned the part. The scraper I was using to scrape with is also rusty. Let's get it hooked up and try cleaning the rust off the scraper blade here. There, the scraper is now in and beginning to electro-clean, and we can see that it's drawing 0.6 of an amp. The scraper wasn't anywhere near as heavily rusted as that little tool bit, so I've only given it about 5 minutes in here. Let's pull it out and give it a rub with the wet rag and then the Scotch-Brite and see what happened. So we'll pull it out here. The rust has turned to a grey powder and has mostly rubbed off with the wet rag. So let's take a piece of the Scotch-Brite . And we are coming to grey steel. We do have the rust completely removed from this scraper blade in a few minutes. Much better than it was when I put it in. The last thing I'm going to try and dip in this video is this steel Forstner bit that's incredibly rusted all over except for about the top 1/4 inch that you can see on the left hand side of it. The incredibly rusty Forstner bit is now in the bath. I added in maybe another 1/4 teaspoon of sodium carbonate powder just to make sure that there's enough in there as it gets used up as things are cleaned. So let's let this go. While this bit is extremely rusty, I'm going to leave it in here for a good 20 to 30 minutes, then we'll pull it out and take a look at it and see how we did. I added a second part in with the drill bit, and now they've both had their time, so let's haul them out and have a look. Here comes the drill bit and the screw bit holder. Well, the drill bit is a lot better looking. Let's try the little screw bit holder here. It was nearly unrecognizable from rust. A lot of the chrome plating came off it, but some is still left, and the steel end of it is restored. I should stick this drill bit in the lathe and run the Scotch-Brite over it, but it is cleaning the last of the surface rust and scale off, and that drill bit is now much better. There's a closer look at it and the screw bit that got cleaned. So any form of rusty steel can be cleaned with a sodium carbonate and water solution. A DC supply, such as a 12-volt battery charger, will work fine. The plus from your power supply hooks up to a piece of scrap steel to serve as the anode. Your part to be cleaned hooks up to the black or negative lead of the 12-volt power supply. All of the chisels, punches, drill bits, and other things shown here were cleaned using the sodium carbonate and water electrocleaning process. It works very well, and hopefully if you've got rusty parts of any size, large or small, this process can be helpful to you. Thanks for watching, and as always, there'll be plenty more to come.